Welcome into Tips for Gamers, and today we got some huge news with the college football game that we've all been waiting eons for it to come out or to come back. It's looking to be released in July of 2023, probably late July. They want to do it for the summer of 2023. That is what we are being told. And according to C.com or SI.com, which we'll have a link in the description below of this article, we'll cover bits and pieces of this article. It's a well-written article, but they are looking to add as many players as they can. So with the NCAA no longer allowed to govern student-athlete compensation thanks to the NIL deals, Brown reported, and this is Matt Brown, they have a link in their article with this guy, reported that there's hope that EA will likely be able to use players in the game and would still launch the title if they were able to use likenesses. And make sure to check out our brand new Minecraft resource pack called T4G's Builder Pack. It is the most realistic Minecraft resource pack for Java Edition. We have stucco, great wood, amazing doors that will only get better, and bricks that will shock you. If you or anyone you know plays Minecraft, make sure to share our pack with them or check it out yourself. It can be found in the links in the description below. You can find out how to download it on our Patreon, and you can also see the video in the links in the description below as well. Now, the NIL thing is basically what started this in the first place. EA was not using direct names of players, but if you were playing and you just were to give your opinion, at least my opinion, I would say that there was similarities. It felt like I was playing the player that is the actual player, and players wanted to get paid, and for the longest time there was no NIL deal for them, which is kind of insane. And now there's no cap on it, and it can get really crazy, as we've already seen. But players want to get paid, and EA, there's no way EA would have been able to pay all of those players that amount, whatever that amount is or was. It just would have been insane. Now with the whole NIL deal, it's completely different because these players can go out and negotiate their own contracts, and it's basically like free agency of the NFL every single week, even in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. There's no real long contract. These guys can say, hey, okay, I'm going to transfer out in a year, like the Pittsburgh wide receiver, go to USC and get paid tons and tons of money and stuff like that. I mean, these guys can get paid more money than they can get in the NFL. So how many players they'll actually get, I'm very curious. I'm also curious to see if they'll create like a players union in the future. I don't know if they can. I have no idea what the legalities are of that. There are much smarter men on this planet that know that. But if they kind of sign a deal like that, because I believe that they would have to go to each individual player and try to negotiate some kind of deal with each individual player, and then the colleges or something like that. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll see how EA can do it. They got some good lawyers, I would assume, and they're going to be able to write up something, I would presume. Also, some good news: nearly 120 institutions, athletic conferences, and bowl games have conceptually approved participation. Currently, EA Sports is working to obtain IP such as band songs, crowd chants, and other team-specific audio assets related to development, which is awesome because I don't want to play as the Appalachian State every week. I don't think I would play the game for very long if that was the case. No offense to you guys. No offense, Appalachian State. None at all. I don't want to do it. But, yeah, cool. I think EA will get a lot done. I think that EA can directly talk to these players. I'm really curious to see how this is going to pan out. It's exciting. Now we're going to go over the format of the game, how it's probably going to look, and just what we have known before in this series. The last game was in 2014, and, it's a great game. In our opinion, it's the best game that they created of the series. But the recruiting does need to be updated. It was in a point system, and you'd be able to increase your point system the higher level you get as a coach, and then you could use more points to recruit players. The insta-commit was the real issue because we just released a video not even that long ago talking about how to recruit, a very, very high recruiting class every year. Basically, you could get 24 5- and 4-star players at will. I mean, it is so easy. So if anyone who doesn't know that and is playing with someone who does know that in a league, you're in trouble. you are in a lot of trouble. So that is something that they're going to have to change. If not, we're going to just come out with a video basically doing the exact same thing and show you guys how to work the system. So EA, I would definitely change that if I were you guys. The next thing is exporting a draft class into Madden. That's going to be more than likely what we're going to see happen again, because they've had that in previous NCAAs and in Madden's, because it was basically combined. And then the next question is, how is it going to look like and how is it going to perform? Because it would be a lot of fun if we could make it a community file and people can download our community file and kind of go with our series. That would be a lot of fun. Then we could create some cool series with it, give you guys some tips on who to draft. You're probably going to draft anyone who's from that college that we're playing with, and rightfully so. I would do the same. But how is it going to perform once it is put into the game, which it likely will? How's that going to perform? Because we know in Madden right now, even downloading Madden community files is really rough and has been rough for a while. How's that going to be with the NCAA? Are they going to allow the community to export or import your NCAA file? How's that going to work? We will see the coaching upgrade tree available to us again, because they're already implementing it into Madden, so we'll likely see that in NCAA. They already had that in NCAA in 2014 and probably even years prior. I just only remember 2014. That's really the only game of the series I remember, because I've played it for eons at this moment in time. The rest of them I forgot. But they're likely going to have it. Madden is implementing it into their game now, which only took them like 50 years, but no big deal. We'll see how the coaching tree is, what they add to it. I really hope that they don't go too far away from what they had previously. They just add on to it, because if you try to go above and beyond, some people just like what was good, and it was good. Don't try to overdo it, EA, and make this thing to where we're like, dude, Jesus Christ, just go back to what it was. Stop trying to repair what's already fixed. This doesn't make sense. Just add on to it. So hopefully they do that. The other question would be, are they going to add like a MUT style and call it nut? Because that's really what you could call it if you're trying to copy the same. I don't think you can call it that. That just sounds stupid. Welcome to nut. And you're like, okay, I don't want to be here. This is... I wonder if they're going to have some kind of card game. I also wonder, why did 2K not really get involved? I don't know enough about it, but why did 2K not really jump into this and try to create a college football game if you weren't allowed to have an NFL game? Do you not have exclusive rights to that too? Why does EA keep getting all these exclusive rights if that's the case? Why are they faster than you guys? Because I love 2K. I love 2K. We want 2K to do so well and to really create competition, and they're really the only company to do it. So what's going on here? What is going on here? Even created an NCAA game for basically your NFL Street game that you're like creating. Hopefully it's like NFL Street, but do something like that. I don't know. And of course, guys, we will give you the latest news once we come across it. It'll be sleek. It'll be perfect. It'll be fast. And it will be intense. So stay tuned. Subscribe.
High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot. You got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5. No mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.